Greetings, adventurers. Welcome back. RPG A Day 2021, day 19. And I've been pondering this one. I'm going to use one of the little words prompts this time, which is storm. The main word was theme, and I suppose in a way that could tie into this, but I'm going to go with storm. And the idea is, what came to mind was weather, and how we can use weather in our games. Normally, weather is something that kind of gets overlooked. The day is described as raining, or it's sunny, or there's a few clouds, or you might say that it looks, with a certain survival check, or whatever, that it looks like rain is on the horizon for the night, and the characters do what they do with it. But all too often, that's all weather and environmental conditions tend to be. It's a little bit of added description. Only really relevant when you have something like a cool lightning spell, which works better when it's cloudy or what have you. Horror games, for example, like to make use of thunder and lightning and rain, but cliches aside, how often does it just do that? But you can use weather in other ways. Some games do have a mechanical system for it. I know that Pathfinder First Edition, depending on like wind, fog, and even the severity of rain, can affect things like missile attacks. But it's more, and this is where we go with theme, I think it's more appropriate to use weather as an aid to the story. You don't get thunderstorms in deserts, so thematically you're always going to have hot, dry, arid conditions. The old Dark Sun campaign setting for second edition AD&D had a very nice set of rules for like dehydration and lack of food and the heat. And it's sort of something that gets forgotten, that your characters may be travelling through some wasteland or whatever, or sun-blasted desert, but we kind of gloss over the effects that the weather has, that the conditions have. And sometimes it doesn't even need to be a mechanical aspect. Sometimes weather just needs to be a good descriptive. You describe the sun burning, beating down on somebody's back, the sweat running off their forehead. You can describe how over the day or days that they are trekking across the great alluvial sand wastes, their skin turning browner as they sunburn and peel. You can do things like that. The old storm, the old haunted house sort of thing is great. You can use it to great effect without it being too cliche. I've done this myself in Call of Cthulhu games. You kind of got to make sure you don't overdo it, but you can, describe the wind rattling branches against the window panes, a draft that blows through from somewhere in the house as the storm picks up, the occasional drip of water, as it drips through those gaps in the attic or whatever. It all adds to a nice thematic build up. It's not just there in the background. And if you've never really thought about it, I would recommend trying that. Make a few notes for sort of like the weather you want to emphasize. It doesn't need it in every encounter or every scene, but when you're trying to push that theme of whether it be sort of like this is a desert, this is what it's going to be, or this is the haunted house in the thunderstorm, having these little descriptives you can just drop in, just to give them the sense that it's not just that storm, it's not just out there, it's not just outside the window, it's a part of where they are. And that's kind of sort of like my thoughts on this. I know it's not a great long vid, but I think it'd be nice to see more elements, appropriate there, of weather making an appearance in games and not just being a part of the backdrop. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do you use weather in the same way? Do you just see it as a backdrop thing? It's not all that important. Do you think it's overused sometimes, perhaps? I mean, I often think, as I say, the haunted house in the storm sort of trope gets overdone a little bit, but I'd like to see your comments down below, see your other vids. In the meantime, if you enjoyed the vid, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you shortly for what would be today's video. Until then, guys, take care, good gaming.